Let's be honest. They don't make kid shows like they used to. Every now and then I'll end up seeing one of these newer kid shows, or I'll hear about a reboot of a kid show, and everything from the art style to the jokes to the story of some of these episodes always feels like it's missing something to me. Yeah, it's all nostalgia, because sometimes you don't miss all the old shows. Sometimes you miss how you felt during those old shows. Psych! These new shows suck, and the old shows bomb on it. Let's talk about some of my favorite kid shows, starting with Phineas and Ferb. I think the saddest thing is finding out how a lot of these shows ended. Seeing the ending of Phineas and Ferb is enough to make a grown man cry. Not to mention the amount of fan theories I've seen about the show and how Phineas's mom actually dated Doofenshmirtz, and then that theory was later confirmed. Not to mention my boy Doof had the worst childhood. His parents didn't even show up to his own birth. I can't lie though, that's gotta be the most confusing thing in the world. Cause how do you even show up? And not to mention Perry going through the craziest side quest of all time to battle Doofenshmirtz and arrive back in time for dinner. And also, Candace. To be honest, I think she gets way too much hate, but looking back on it now, the way she be stalking my man's Jeremy. Next on the list is Atla. You don't know what it's like to be scared, because true fear is watching Toph and Sokka accept their fate, because this might be the end for them in that season 3 finale. The writing on this show, the music of the show, the world building on this show, not to mention the best part, the characters on this show. The dynamic the characters have with one another and seeing them all grow alongside one another is truly some masterful levels of writing. They were cooking when they made this. And looking back, I was a dumbass kid, because when I first saw this show, I was like, what the hell is this useless ass show? Put on some Minecraft Mob School. It's only when I came back being a few years older that I realized this show was incredible. I want you to look at me and tell me that it was all nostalgia, when Atla is this good. No, it's not. And now to talk about the show with some of the best mystery I've seen. Gravity Falls. Gravity Falls had one of the most bittersweet endings, and honestly, probably my favorite ending in a kid's show. Plus, they really knew how to build up all these mysteries, like the search to find the author of the journals. And I also remember seeing Bill Cipher and thinking it was so creepy for being the Illuminati thing. And whilst I am talking about mysteries, even the episodes that just focus on the character dynamic between Dipper and Mabel were really entertaining to watch. It even makes you feel sad when you see them try and deal with the idea of growing up and how it's not always going to be sunshine and rainbows. I really love when kids shows tackle topics like this that feel real, because it can help you relate to the characters on a much deeper level. That ending with Gravity Falls, where everyone went their separate ways, the two stands went to do their boat thing, and summer had to end for Dipper and Mabel, it really was enough to make a grown man cry. Dang. Okay. I had to save the best for last, right? This is a show I watch purely for the coolness factor. Out of the 5 Ben 10 shows, 4. We don't talk about the reboot. Ben 10 Classic? Peak! The animation and not to mention the character designs were all at their peak during Ben 10 Classic. Plus, this is when Vilgax used to be a menace, because in the rest of the shows, he's still a menace, but he kind of loses all his aura. And seeing Ben go alien, or when you see an alien from the Watch show up, used to be the coolest damn thing in the world. Or when you got to see Ben 10,000 for the first time. And now I know I just said Ben 10 Classic is good, but people keep on sleeping on Omniverse too, because it has its problems, and out of the 4 Ben 10 shows, yeah, we're still not going to talk about that reboot. It had a really good soundtrack. But if I'm talking about a kid show that's been much newer than I'm able to enjoy, I'd probably say Craig of the Creek. I've had a good time watching that one. And it's low-key kind of crazy how all these Gen Alpha and Gen Beta kids are going to be looking back on CoComelon with nostalgia. Anyway, if I made this video any longer, it would never get finished, but here's some honorable mentions for kid shows, and peace out.